Hello, Cherries. Welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, episode 210. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a lesson on alternate picking, and which will help your speed, endurance, accuracy. And this is going to be really, really cool. And I'm coming to you from my hotel room in Spokane, Washington. And it's a little early here. It's 9 o'clock on the West Coast. So I'm used to doing this on New York time, 12 o'clock. But here I am. And Paul Merrill showing up. Good to see you. Give you a round of applause. Now, I can't hear any of this because I didn't bring my headphones. I brought everything else, and I thought I'd be able to do this with my Bluetooth headphones, but since I have my interface thing hooked up, it's bypassing the Bluetooth from my computer, so I can't hear this. So let me know if you could hear me out there, first of all, and if you could hear my guitar. It's all right? Yeah, it's raining. I have to put my glasses on here because it's hard to see from here, so. Looking a little funny today in my glasses, but all right. You can hear my guitar? How about with the distortion? You hear that? Let me know if it's clipping. If it's clipping, I can lower it. All I hear is my guitar. Unplugged. So, distortion. So it's up to you. I can either play distortion or clean. Dirty is better. It's not distorting. I'm taking your word for it because I can't hear it. But what we're doing today is, I don't really need to even hear myself anyway because we're going to be doing some technical stuff here. And so let's get right down to it. Oh, I gotta cut this off here because I'm not at home. My live stream system on the road is a little different. So check this out. I'm gonna do stuff like I'm gonna use a metronome here, which I have. Hopefully you can hear this as well. Right now I have it set to about 70 beats per minute right now. You probably hear that right very nicely through my microphone. And hello, looking for Crossroads. Give you a round of applause, all you guys. Looking for Crossroads. Scott Olson. Round of applause. Awesome. All right, so here's what we got here. I'm just gonna go right up the E string, little E string. And I'm gonna go riffs kind of like this, like a triplet feel, where I can go. All right, Robert. Yeah. Triplet. If I was to double it, it would sound like this. Right, just like that. All right, if you're liking this video so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. I go live every Sunday, no matter where I am, if I'm in Spokane, Washington, or Brooklyn, New York, whatever, even with my cheap sunglasses, or reading glasses. No lady downstairs yelling, keep the hell down up there. Or down there, right? Yeah, that's funny. But, all right, so, you know. Trying to save room in my suitcase. I didn't bring my headphones. What a pain. Or even a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter would work perfectly for me, right? So, all right. But, you know, use the metronome with an exercise like this. And we're talking about alternate picking here. So this is a great exercise for building up that strength right here. So I'm just going down, up, down, up, down. That's all alternate picking is. Back and forth. Jeffrey Boyle. Back and forth, up and down, without missing the beat. What I'm doing here is I'm just going up the E minor scale. First fret, second fret, third fret, fifth, seventh, 8th, 10th, 12th. You can do it again up the octave up here. I have no idea what it sounds like out there right now because I have my distortion on, but I don't hear the distortion in here. So, oh well, whatever. You prefer the distortion, or I could have it clean like that. Oops. Like that, right? We'll try it clean for a little bit because that way I know what it sounds like out there, right? Benefits me a little bit here. So with the click that I have on here at 70, you can really work on the articulation here. Hey lady, are you using the pinky finger on that scale or the ring finger? That's tough on my pinky. I'm using my pinky, I'm using all my fingers actually on this exercise because with the first one I'm just doing open. You know, so it's like a, you know. Get a little closer here. See if it's better. Do that. Using the first. I'm using my pointer and my middle finger right here. And then the next one, I'm using my pointer, my my middle finger, and my pinky. Back to the E again. So best way to do this, and then just keep working on that, you know, and build up speed, and then turn the metronome up in increments of like 5 or 10. But really try to get it clean without choking the note, like, you know. You know, unless you're trying to go for that particular sound, like an Al Di Meola type of sound, you know, which is cool too, you know, very cool. You know, that I'd love that type of sound, like a stuff like that, you know, but you have to build up to that. But it's good to, you know, don't choke the note, let them ring. Like that. Just like that. So I have my little office here I have my suitcase holding my trackpad. Right here, I have an extra trackpad. And I really brought the minimal amount of stuff to do a live stream on the road. Usually I have like a little lights. I have an extra camera, USB camera that I can move around so I don't have to use my computer camera. But I brought just the bare necessities today: the microphone, the interface, the trackpad. But I didn't bring the most important thing to hear in my headphones, because I thought I'd be able to Bluetooth, like I said. And I probably can, but it's above my head of technology. So I can't really hear what my guitar sounds like out there. But apparently it sounds all right, so it's good. So I'm using my suitcase as a little table right here. Whatever you got to do. So any questions about this stuff, please let me know. Now, I would recommend using a metronome, build it up. Like here's 70. I could just take it up to 80. Right? Let's try 80, the same thing. Inca, thank you. Digging the glasses. The idea is to get it clean and relax the wrist. Relax the wrist to where it's just, just hanging there. And don't use your arm, use your wrist. Do it on the B string. Now you have it on 2 strings. So that's cool, because once you memorize the scale, on the E string it's... But on the B string, you get still the E minor scale, it's just on different strings. You can mix it up. Really good exercise right there. Taking the glasses. That's very cool. Very, very cool of you. Thank you so much for that. Give you a round of applause. I can't hear the applause button, but I think it's there. I believe it's there. You can see the little indicator showing sound. So, yeah. I have, I could see like a mile away, but right in front of me, it's hard to. And I'm trying to read your text. And if I leave them off, I could still see it, but I'm squinting a little bit there. But why not? Keep the glasses on. It's a different look, right? Roberts. Do each of the SOS band have their own rooms there? Yes. We have our own rooms. Every one of us in the band, in the store. Sometimes we have to bunk up and share. Like I usually room with the bass player, Dave, and he actually has a headphone adapter. But he called me at I texted 5 minutes before my live to anyone who might have the adapter, and he replied like a minute before we went live, and I was like, don't worry about it. Guess they could have just let him in right now. Can't be any worse than last week when the plumber went crazy as soon as I started my live, and I had to go downstairs and tell him I was going live, because that was really, really obnoxious. But you know what? For something like this, I don't really even have to hear so much, you know. I'm taking your word for it. But it sounds okay and you can hear me. So, all right. So we got these different patterns and, you know, but just keep in mind, relaxing the wrist, you know, working on timing there. And I'm going to get to another really cool exercise here in a second. I got a few different exercises I'm going to run through. But I have a super chat, which is really, really cool, from Scott Olson. Super chat, $10 from Scott Olson. You're in the birthplace of Starbucks, so get yourself a cold brew today. I am in Washington State, way over on the left coast, and Spokane, Washington. And that is cool, close. Wasn't it more by Seattle, Washington, right? But we're just a few hours away from Seattle. Unless it was originated here, you know. But I am in the birthplace. I'm on the in Washington State, and not really seeing enough of it. And I hope to. You know, we leave late today from the hotel, which is very rare. Usually we have a very early checkout and we're gone, but we're leaving at 9 o'clock tonight. So I have a lot of time to go burn through some food vouchers here in the hotel casino. Maybe I'll even play some penny slots. But anyway, let's get back to it. Here's an exercise I learned when I was very young and started taking some guitar lessons. I would do things like, let's go back to 70 to keep it consistent, what we're doing here. Consistency is the key, right? That's why I go live here, even if I'm in Spokane, Washington. Close enough, Scott Olson. Thanks. Check out this exercise. It's very common. You do this on all the strings. It's like this. You just go up the 4 frets. And this is what really built up my speed. I owe everything to this exercise right here as far as my speed, my alternate picking, and my tremolo picking. Which tremolo picking is just kind of picking as fast as you can, like that, right? So I'm just going. That was 8 notes right there. Just right up the fret. 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. You might find this a little fast for just beginning exercise. I'm gonna go down to 60 right here, just so I could really kind of show what's happening here. So good. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up, down. So you can do it like that, or go through all the strings, like. Miss a beat as far as the alternate picking up and down. And so on. Really good exercise. And then you would take it to another one where it would be like a 1, 2, 4, 2. And that would be. Right? Really great exercise right there. I'm actually not starting on the E string, the open E string. You know? I am not. And hello there, Robbie. I love hi, Jerry and friends. And Robert, I'm not starting on the E, but you can. You can start on, any string. But for this exercise, it's good. I'm just fretting them. I'm using all the frets here. Starting on the F, the first fret, the next second fret, third fret, fourth fret. It's a good exercise to fret it. Do that because you could work your way all the way up. If I was to do it open, it would be. Which is good too, but you just continue on up. I learned starting on the first fret for some reason. Not sure why, because you're moving up anyway, moving down. And I went through that, and it's really, it's tiring to do this stuff. It's it puts a lot of pressure, a lot of, it's an exercise. So relax your hands as much as you can. Definitely go through stretching. Stretch your hands, stretch your fingers. I go through a whole routine usually. Today I didn't do it because I was rushing trying to get all this stuff done so early. And we played a gig last night, finished up. I woke up at 5 o'clock a.m. this morning. Thank you very much. West Coast time, Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock so that I could be ready, headphones and all, at 9 o'clock. So it's early. It's early here today. It's only 9:30. That sounded like a song. Honestly, I don't know. I don't care for Starbucks coffee. Tastes burnt to me. Yeah, that's true. I don't usually get their regular coffee, though. I usually get their their cold brew, a little vanilla, sweet, little cold foam on it as well. And didn't actually have my coffee here today. This is actually an empty cup from yesterday, but I do have my JC on there. I'm drinking this Fanta Zero Sugar drink. I didn't know it had no sugar. Once again, I was fooled. They got me. It's actually pretty good. For no sugar, it's a nice tasting soft drink. It's amazing what they could do with just by adding chemicals, right? Vincent, any tips to avoid wrist pain in the fretting hand? That's a great question, Vincent. And thank you for that. Give you a round of applause. So many people popping in here to the chat. That's great. See, Vincent, for avoiding wrist pain in the fretting hand, which would be this hand for me. Hot chocolate is good, yeah. I would say do the stretches. Definitely do the stretches. You do. The wrist exercises, I should make a video on that. But I go through this whole thing on stretching this way. I do, of course I'm standing up, my arms are straight. I can't do that here like now. I put my thumb onto my hand here like that. I go down like that. I mean, that's a great exercise right there. Putting your hands down like this, stretching that, because you really get the stretch inside here. Squeeze your thumb like that, grab your thumb, and just go up with your wrist. You'll feel it. Really good stretch inside here. Once again, these are good. Going up is good. People think that I'm praying when I do that. Go up. And then I have things like this, things backward like this. People think I'm flying away. It looks ridiculous when I'm doing it, but who cares what people think, right? And so seriously, I do that. I do this whole routine before playing. That keeps the wrist loose. You don't want to cramp up too much on your wrist here, That's my tips. Those are some tips for avoiding wrist pain in the fretting hand. And start slow. And if it hurts, just stop and rest it for a while, Keep the wrist relaxed. Try to keep your fingers kind of aligned with the frets here. Keep your wrist down here and just relax it as much as you can. And don't go too fast. Like I'm doing 60 beats per minute right now. And I would take, we did the 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Now do 1, 3, 4. Would be like this. So you have a this is a cool exercise as well. 1, 3, 4. So you have down, up. You know, whenever you're dealing with triplets, if you start with a down on a quarter note beats right there, which is what this is, quarter notes. I'm going 3 notes in between each quarter note right there. It's not an even number, it's an odd number, so the next one's going to be on the up string. And that's cool. It comes in handy a lot of times. If you're switching strings, you have to do the same thing. Down, up on the next string. Down, up, down, up. If I was doing 4, it would be different because it's an even number. It would be down on each string. And I didn't reverse it when I did it before, but I would reverse it too. When I went up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, go down as well. Do that. Down, down, down. Is the string or a finger buzz? Is it the string or a finger buzz? Actually, I don't know, because I can't really hear it. I can't hear what you're hearing out there, unfortunately, the Benedict. Maybe it's my guitar buzzing. Probably more so my fingers. If I was more aware of it, I probably would stop it. 'Cause it's not really buzzing too much right now. So I'll try not to dig in too much, like like that. That's buzzing. But if I really focus on trying to be cleaner, maybe with distortion. Of course, I can't hear that anyway, so I have no idea what it sounds like. All right, yes. A little bit better? Benedict, thank you so much. I'll give you a round of applause. Reflection, music, and video. Was wondering if anyone here has trouble doing the Hendrix bar chord technique besides me. The Hendrix bar chord technique. What is the Hendrix bar? If I knew what it was. I know it's something with the thumb. Thumb fretting the thickest string. No distortion, please. Make it clean. All right. That's a good question. You know, it's I would just, kind of. not enough. Might be an issue. All right. It's definitely a good idea to, I'll look into that and do a little bit more of the overhand thing, which I don't really do too much. But a lot of people do, and it's pretty cool. Actually, here's another one, like up here. People do this a lot. So you could play this. Instead of playing the chord here, we'll do it here. So, pretty good question. Very good question, actually. But let's get right back to the topic that we're doing, and that is alternate picking, working on that here, and just keeping your hands relaxed. That's the important thing here. Use your metronome. Go through different techniques. Now, here's another one that I find really, really fun. All the other stuff is really cool, and do it. But another exercise that I like to do is just going through scales and positions, you know, with alternate picking. And that's really, really cool, too. Stuff like this, like, let's see, just the other day, I'll just take randomly, I'll just take any particular scale. I was going up here. And there we go. Or in fours. Oops. And all I did was I went up just a scale, 3 notes per string type of scale. And it's a really good one because what it's focusing on is the alternate picking. And the way I'm kind of looking at this, because it's always been hard for me to start on a down. Like I've always been able to go faster going up. I mean on the up stroke, kind of like. You know, stuff like that. Of course, I can't really hear what's going on, so it's probably a little bit sloppy there. But going down has always been a little bit trickier for me. So I kind of picture it kind of like a, maybe like a windshield wiper. You know? Down, up, down, up, down, up. And instead of thinking, okay, well, I got to hit the string and I got to be specific with this, if you kind of break it down to where you're thinking of just your wrist going kind of like some kind of, I don't know, like I use the windshield wiper analogy because it's going back and forth, but a windshield wiper is not exactly perfect right there. Or maybe it is. But I'm thinking of just keeping it consistent, bop, 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 to where it's just like, it's hard switching strings doing, because you can sit there on one string all day long and go. switching strings like this, you have a lot more going on there. You know, the attack is different. You're going down, then you're going right up on a different string right away. Down on one string, up on another string, down, up, then you're switching strings again. So that's one thing to think of, is yeah, I do have to change strings. But at the end of the day, what you're really doing with your wrist is you're just going down, up, down, up, down, up. No matter where you are and what you're doing, what strings or whatever, you're still just going down, up, down, up. Now where you're hitting, where you're attacking is another thing right there. Down, up. But if you can get the first thing first, and that's just getting your wrist to go up, down, up, down. And if you find yourself struggling with a certain note, break it down and start to look at what it is that where you're getting stuck. Down, up, down, up, down, up, you know, down, up, down, up. Right on. Hopefully that helps. You having a good time? Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I go live usually from my house in Brooklyn, in my apartment in Brooklyn. And we have a few different camera angles and stuff, and it probably sounds better. But I'm in in a hotel room in Spokane, Washington. I'm still going live because I love doing it. I love hanging out with you guys, answering any questions I can. Let's go back here to some of these questions that I missed over here. Big hands. Yeah, sure do. Reflections, Jazz Master. That's nice. Oh, man. The Thunderbirds. We were talking last week about the Gibsons I've been looking at. I've been checking out some Thunderbirds, and I was talking about Firebirds. And what's the difference between no, it's a Firebird and a Thunderbird. The Firebird's the guitar version, and the Thunderbird is the bass version. Duh. Makes a lot of sense, right? Thunder, like a bass. Reflections. It's nice because it frees up the extra fingers at the bottom. Talking about that Hendrix thing. It's nice because it frees up an extra finger at the bottom. Yeah, that's true. You know, it's got some cool stuff in there, you know. Frees up this finger, too. I like that. And, Robert, are the triads strummed? And are the triads strummed all down and not up? We could strum triads in any position, really. You know, like even in this A right here. How else to strum this? Let's try it. I'm not really thinking about, you know, which direction. Here, up or down. That's what you need. Too, if I was going, or if you're doing like an arpeggio, you could go alternate as well. I saw a thing with a clinic with Steve Morris years ago, and he did some really cool thing, and it blew my mind because, you know, there was an arpeggio. It's kind of like a, which I'm not very good at, but it's like, people play fast like that. He was picking the arpeggio. Instead of sweeping down like this, he would sweep it. No, not sweep. He would pick every note. He would go down. I can't even do that. Imagine that. Picking every note on the arpeggios, like. Which makes no sense, really, to me, because, you know, it makes. You'd want to sweep. But it does make sense because it really helps with your alternate picking. And he just whizzed through them. So I'm not going to argue with anything Steve Morris does. The guy's a guitar master genius. Love him. You know, so I'll try it strummed up. Old guitars have 7.5 radiuses. May make it easier. Yeah, it could have a lot to do with it too. Much better, sir, if you are doing it using modes. Absolutely, you know, and that's the great exercise right here, is doing it with modes up 3 notes per string. It's a beautiful thing, and that's kind of like where I was starting with this right here. I was doing, but I had started right in the middle where I was here. Right, so that's the B minor scale. And it would be a 3 notes per string starting here on the A, and it would be like, it would be this particular fingering. So you can see that right there. With alternate picking. Put on the metronome so you can hear that. I guess in this case it would be a, if you did, let's see. If it was 16th notes, would be. That's 16th notes. Just go up next position. So going through all this, the positions is a great thing too. You know, if you don't know about the 3 notes per string, there's it's 7 positions, 3 notes per string, because there's 7 notes in the scale. You know, I have a couple of videos on that, actually 3 notes per string on all the scales. I'll link them up in the description later on. Check those out. And that's a great exercise for alternate picking, because I'm going back and forth. You know. So many people do that to play fast. You know, they'll just whiz through these 3 notes per string patterns. You know. Oops. I can't even do it. All through those patterns. But I was starting right in the middle somewhere, doing 4s, which is a little bit harder. But with the metronome, to keep it honest. So it's just 4 in between that, and it's like. Just like that. All right, any questions, let me know about this. We got a little more time. And so those 16th notes played like Jeff Watson. 16th notes played like Jeff Watson level. Yeah, well, that guy's on another level. Jeff Watson. I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. No. And, you know, cool guy. Cool guy. Great guitar player. He's replied to some comments that I've made, which is so cool. Let's do the 8-finger technique. Yeah, right. Okay. So go back and check out those videos. Yeah, I'll post links. I did 3 notes per string on the 5 scales. I did the major scale, the melodic minor scale, the harmonic minor scale. I even did the harmonic major scale and the double harmonic major scale. Just 3 notes per string on all, because there's 7 notes of the scale, so there's 7 starting points of that. And I would go through all of them because it's really, really, really cool. If you were to do it, say E minor, right? So that's 3 notes per string, E minor scale, starting on the E. And then, so if you were starting the second note, but you started here, starting on the F sharp. Then you start on the G major. You start on the 4th note, and so on. Then on the 3rd, that's the 4th note, that's the 5th note, which would be this one. Oops. And it's like this. That's it. I gotta practice it myself. Up here. It's in the 7th note right here. Back to the top again. How to practice with that. Use a metal pick? No. I'm actually using these. This is a 1.14 millimeter Dunlap Jazz 3. Actually, I like the 1.5s. They're a little bit heavier. These are pretty heavy, but the 1.5s are like seriously heavy. And there's Yngwie's right. There is no lag at all. Not that I'm playing so fast here that like I need that, but I could definitely feel it. Like when I'm playing, which is good for feel because you can really dig in. Who needs it if you're just playing like a normal human being, right? Unlike Yngwie, right? But it has a little bit of bend, which is good because you could really feel it and you could dig in. But if you really want no lag, use the 1.5s. Those will be the way to go. Really heavy stuff. And I have cherry picks that I throw out for people, and I don't really use them too much. They're bigger, normal size picks, and they're actually heavy. They're 1.5. But after playing these little jazz 3s for so long, you grab a regular size pick, and it's like holding a cinder block in your hand. It's like. But I'll grab it right before I'm ready to flick it out. I'll play the song with these little picks, and then I'll like swap it out, grab the other one, and I'll just flick it out, because it has my name, website on it, which is, I'm throwing these picks out to people, and it's like, they're looking at it and go, Dunlap? Who cares about Dunlap? At least now they could, remember who was playing, which is kind of cool. My cherry picks. And Yeah, so I think we're having a good time here today. Any questions? Any more questions? Let me know. Here we go. It's another one. Reflections using video. And what's your favorite brand of strings? Been using the .71 Jazz Dunlap picks. Oh, yeah. So you're using more of a flimsy pick. Strings. I've used D'Addario for years. D'Addario 10 gauge to 46. But you know what? I stumbled across a pair of the GHS boomers, and I used a pair of those, and man, they felt really good. So I bought a 6-pack of boomers, and so I'm using boomers, and see how that goes with the boomers. These right now are the boomers, I believe, and they feel, from the first time I put them on, my back is. I'm doing this because I'm hunching over to see, because my monitor screen is tilted down. My back is like, I need to go see a chiropractor after this live stream. But something better. And that's a good pick. I mean, it's a little small and it's hard to hold sometimes. But I like the attack on these picks, because they have it's a very pointed tip on it, but it is slightly rounded there, but to a point. Like on those regular picks, they may come pointier, but there's a flat surface on the top, which is not good. This comes to a point and it's slightly rounded. So you have that, especially for alternate picking, there's no lag in the way there, I've learned this, years ago when I was 17 years old, and I was learning this stuff, these exercises. My guitar teacher told me about that. He maybe used the Jazz 3s, the red ones. Got about 1 million of those things in a jar at home. Just know if you did this with a regular pick, it would just be harder. Wouldn't be as smooth. Now, on the fat E string, it's a lot harder to do this tremolo picking for some reason. It's a little flimsier, and it's a fatter string, probably. So that's probably the reason why. So you have to kind of approach it a little bit differently. When you're doing like an alternate picking thing on the E string, as you go down, you can't really play it the same way. You have to your strokes maybe a little bit more broad. But you still want to have that motion, that back and forth motion. And if you're not doing that motion, then there's something wrong there. So the number one thing is it's almost like visualize your hand just not hitting somebody or punching the wall. You're moving it towards something, or you're rowing a boat. You're going that way. It's going this way. Bap, 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 bap. And you shouldn't deviate from that. So it's like bap, bap. And that's what I'm thinking in a way. I'm thinking that way. Bap, 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 bap. When you visualize things that way, it makes it easier, actually. You may think this is silly, but, focusing on any kind of visualization you could use in this really, really helps. Like if I was going that way, I would imagine myself going. I would imagine my arm wanting to go that way with a, like. If I was going to move my arm forward, there'd be no hesitation in moving it forward. I wouldn't go and I'd jerk back at it. No. I would go forward. I wouldn't go this way then back. So if I was to alternate pick starting going down, I would kind of keep that same thing. And it really, really is helpful. Hopefully that helps. And yeah, we're having a good time. If you're enjoying this video, if you're finding it helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. All kinds of different stuff. When I'm at home and I show graphs and charts, I have backing tracks. I have a Pro Tools thing that plays backing tracks while I loop progressions and stuff. Here on the road, I can't really do that stuff, but we're doing it anyway. We'll do something different here. Inflections. I was debating trying 8s or 8.5s. Why not? I think even Yngwie, the man, said he uses 8s, right? And he says it has nothing to do with the tone, the size of the string. It's mostly to do with your hands, I think, anyway. Tell that to Stevie Ray Vaughan. Favorite brand. Oh, read that one already. Okay. Play the blues, I use number 9. Number 9, when I play the blues, I use number 9. Number 9 gauge strings, where you change your strings per type of music that you play. Is that what you're talking about? I use number 9 when you play the blues. I don't know if you mean number 9 or the gauge of picks. Make some sense. People change picks for different songs, and it really makes a lot of sense. I have lots of different gauge picks. If I was playing an acoustic song that I really wanted the strings to ring out, I might use a thinner pick just to get the strings going. Going off on a tangent there. Because what happens is when you use a real heavy pick like this, sometimes your first initial attack will be the loudest on heavy picks like this. But if you use a thin pick, it's going to strike all the strings more evenly as you flow through them. And you won't hear necessarily the first part of the attack louder than the rest of the chord. With a thin pick, you'll hear all the strings evenly, as opposed to a heavier pick. So, there's lots of reasons for different types of picks, different gauges. I use thins, mediums, heavies. Depends on, what you're trying to accomplish. In the studio, nobody's looking at what kind of pick you're using. It really depends on the sound you're going for and, the type of attack that you want. Enjoying your live sharing. Very cool. Thank you so much. That is why I do it. And I'm glad I went live today. It's a lot, on the road it's hard sometimes. If I don't have my own room, if I'm sharing with the bass player, with Dave, it's hard. I got to kick him out to do this. It takes hours to prepare usually. And, but I like to do it. Keep it consistent. Very cool. Interesting, following the accent of the scale. Yeah, it's important to follow the accent of the scale, hitting the first notes, But lots of good exercises to really do. Hopefully I gave you some exercises that you can remember. Go back and watch this again. And usually what I'll do is I'll take this video, this hour-long video, and I'll break it down, if I can, with this one, and shrink it down to maybe like a 20-minute video of just the exercises, what I did, so we could, focus more on that. And, that helps a lot. And are 12 strings played with a different strumming pattern? No, not really at all. It's all the same. It's just the 12 strings. You have they're just, like a 6 string, but they're doubled up. I don't really play too much 12 string, but the strings are doubled you know, you have some an octave higher on the lower range. So you have a fat E, and here you have like an octave above. So you have 12 strings. So it's really played the same way. It's just that you have 12 of them now, and it's harder to play, harder to tune. But you play them the same way. I mean, you may pick things. You know, a lot of times on a 12 string, you'll play accordingly to a 12 string, but essentially. It's all the same. All right. Very, very cool. Reflections. Great organized channel. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Try to keep it consistent. And Benedict. Gauge of strings 9. When it comes to picks, Kirk Hammett is using the hard for alternate picking. Yeah, absolutely. I could agree with that. But yeah, I would say, you know, use the metronome. In summary, but keep those questions coming in. And if you want, you know, leave a comment on here. Email me, info@cherry, and questions. But, you know, go through the different exercises, like the, and then the back and the 4, 3, 2, 1. Look what I'm doing. I'm just totally working on the alternate picking here. And the next one you have. I mean, you're working on dexterity and strength, endurance, speed, everything, and alternate picking by doing these. I mean, if you don't want to work on the left hand, you could just do your right hand picking. You know what I did recently? Actually, just yesterday, I thought it's a really cool thing to where, and this could be a whole nother video for this, but if you imagine your guitar like a drum, like a drummer, and you're playing, here's the kick, playing equal. Is the kick drum. The third is the snare drum. Here's the hi-hat on your B string, playing eighth notes, right? Alternate pick that. Now what if it was playing 16th notes? Do some fills. Get a little like Neil Peart in there, you know? So that's a pretty cool one. A lot of tuning. But lots of exercises and, you know, make music with it. You know, go through the scales. About this exercise is that on the way back it changes the pattern here, or the upstrokes. So I'm going, and then I'm going, I'm accenting the second note, you know, 1, 2, 3. So I'm starting on the first note. because the pattern, the scale ends here, and I want to just go down, it's changing the attack. You know, because I'm going. And I'm not changing it, I'm just going with it instead of going. Oops. Oops. Yeah. I'm just, you know, it's changing where I'm attacking the note. So yeah, burn through all these different exercises and use the metronome. Start slow and then just work your way up speed-wise. Start at 60. When you feel like it's comfortable with it, you know, do it real slow. We'll just do it one more time here real quick. If you're doing something like this at 70, we're doing 4 notes, you know. You're going. Turn the speed up. Kick it up a notch, like Emerald Lagasse, right? Just kick it up a notch. Kick it up to 80. Just continue with it. One last one. Check this out. I think I did this. I started with this, and I did 4s like this, like. Oh, no, it would be more like a. No, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a really cool one. It's really easy. It's on 1 string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And I'm alternate picking. I'm hitting the same note twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, what's good about that is because when you're doubling that same note, that's when you would switch notes like this. You know, but slow. I'm sloppy with it, but it's fast for me. But anyway, that's a really great exercise too. Just another one to throw in there to work on. Which one of these exercises is your favorite? And do you have any good alternate picking exercises that you like to do that's really helpful? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know right now. We're going to wrap it up here right now. And thank you so much for watching here. You guys are the best. I'm here on the road. I'm able to connect with you and pick your brains. You pick my brain a little bit. Hopefully this was helpful. A lot of tuning. Yeah, tuning's a big pain in the butt. I was going to do a thing on tuning today, believe it or not. I picked up my guitar. I'm like, what am I going to do today? And I was like, oh, let's do a video on tuning. That's the great thing about music, right? And everything is just, it's never ending. You can do anything. There's so many topics and so many things you could do. It's really cool. But tuning is a great topic. Boy, the struggles with tuning the guitar is just insane. You know, it sounds like a basic thing. You just plug it into the tuner and you tune it. But, you know, tuners don't put you in tune. I have, like, the best tuners in the world, and they don't work or anything. I would never trust them. In the studio, I record. It gets you in the right area, but you got to fine-tune it a little bit. But we're going off on tangent here. So Scott Olson, thank you so much, and the Benedicts. A lot of new people in here that have been here for the first time, and I really appreciate that. Really grateful for you. And the Benedict reflection music and video, very cool of you. Thanks for popping in here and asking questions. Roberts, and lots of great stuff here today. Bobby H. Love, and who else was here today? Jeffrey Boyle and Scott Olson. Thank you guys so much for the super chat too. That's really, really cool. I have some food vouchers here, so I won't probably use it in the hotel, but later on when I get back to the city, I'll be doing that. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here on a Sunday here in Spokane, Washington. Really appreciate it. I'm wearing my glasses that I don't typically do, but when I'm looking into the computer here today, it's a little bit harder. And why not? It's like very fashionable today. It's a fashion statement. So enjoy the rest of your day. You guys are amazing. And any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. And let me know in the comments what your favorites alternate picking exercises are that really helped you out. And that would be really, really cool if you check out my guitar course. I put a link in the description there. It's at the top. Go through lots of different subjects. 4 actually on fretboard memorization. Go through the circle of fifths. I go through some blues playing, and I go through the cage system, which is amazing. And I have all kinds of graphics and backing tracks that come along with that. So I'd appreciate that. Very kind of you. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday weekend. I will see you next week maybe from the road again. On the road again. Because we'll end up in Tarrytown, New York on Sunday, playing a gig that Sunday. Then I go home on Monday. So it might be Monday at home, unless I do something earlier that Sunday in Tarrytown, New York. So that'll be cool. So anyway, remember guys, be cool, be kind, and be cherry. And I'll see you in the next video. Love yous. Thanks so much, guys. Peace.